Well, a very brief video about the cross product. We have a vector A, and a vector V. Of course, the vector A will have components AXI plus AYJ and maybe ACK. And the vector V will have component VXI plus BYJ plus B zeta K. And we want to know what is A cross B. A cross B is the cross product of two vectors and is a new vector, C. So if we define what is C, we are done. So what is C? First way of seeing, one, the vector C have the magnitude of C is the magnitude of A by the magnitude of B by the sine of the angle that form A with B. A with B. So, if we define a vector, we cannot define only the magnitude, we have to define the direction. So the direction is use your right hand, the right one, and move A to A rotating to B. So rotate A through B and C to where and the vector C will be the vector that is pointing perpendicular to the plane formed with A and B in the direction of your sum, of your... let's go to see, for example, here. If let's see here, let's say this is A, and let's say this is B. So I rotate A over B. So the vector C is perpendicular to the plane that form A and B. So it's perpendicular to the plane X, Y, Z. So the vector C is here. So it's perpendicular to the plane and perpendicular to the plane going up or going down. In this case, A cross B will go up. Why? Put your finger, you take A with your right hand side, you rotate A over B and you will see that your finger and your thumb is pointing out up. So A cross B is perpendicular to the plane formed with A and B. So the vector C have two properties. The vector C, that is the cross product, have two properties. The first property, the magnitude of C is magnitude of A by magnitude of B by the sine of the angle that form. The second property, the vector C itself is perpendicular to the plane formed by A and B, pointing in the direction of your sum. Of course, using your right hand of your sum. Okay? So the first definition. Let's go to do one problem. For example, this problem. We have this vector A. Should be okay, I'm going to solve it because it should be a homework for you, but I'm going to solve it. Say 146. For the two vector figure 135, this is the figure 135, this is the figure 135. For the two vector, find the magnitude and direction of the vector product A cross B. B, the vector product B cross A. So A cross B is the vector C. C is the vector that I'm looking at A cross B. First question, what is the magnitude of C? The magnitude of C is the magnitude of A by the magnitude of B by the sine of the angle that forms. So what is the magnitude of C? So I see on the picture the magnitude of A is 2.8. The magnitude of B is 1.9. What is in centimeters? You have to put it in meters, 10 minus 2. By the point of B, that is 1.9 by 10 a la minus 2. By the sine of the angle is the sine of 120. So the sine of 120 and the sine of 120 should be the same of the sine of 2.8 by 1.9. Well, you do it, okay? By 10 a la minus 4 by the sine of 60. And the sine of 60 is the same thing as the cosine of 30, so 2.8 by 1.9 by 10 a la minus 4. The sine of 60, I said that is the same thing that the cosine of 30. And the sine of 30 is 1/2. So 1/2 squared plus cosine of 30 squared is 1. So it's 1 minus 1/4 is square root 1/4 is 3/4. Square root of 3 over 2. So cosine of 30 is square root, 1/4. 1 minus 1/4, 1 minus 1/4 is 3/4. 3/4 square root is square root of 3, so it will be 2.8 by 1.9 by 10 a la minus 4 by cosine of 30 that I said is square root of 3 divided by 2. And this is the result of the magnitudes. So but we want to know in what direction. Who is C? Let's say that this is 5. I don't know what is there. Let's say that all this multiplication for sure it's not 5. Let's say that it's 5. So what is C? C is the vector that has magnitude 5. In what direction? Well, if you see, the direction is going in the k direction minus sign. How I know? Well, you take A with your fingers, A, and you rotate A over B, and you will see that your sum is pointing down. If you take this is A on the plane, this is B on the plane, A and B, you rotate A over B, it will go down. So this is the answer. Well, of course, it's not this 5, it's this number. So the problem is, so there are two ways to do the cross product. The first way to do the cross product is to make it like I said. They give me A, they give me B, I give you C, that is the cross product. And how do I construct the vector C? I construct the vector C knowing what is the magnitude of the vector, knowing what is the direction of the vector. There is another way to do it, but I will not do it. I will not do it. No, not worth it. Not worth it. But the other, yes, I'll do something very simple. What is the vector I cross J? Is the magnitude of I, wow, by the, let's go to make I cross J. Is the magnitude of I by the magnitude of J by the sine of the angle that form the two vectors, that is 90 degrees. The sine of 90 is 1. So it's 1 by 1 by 1, because the magnitude of I is 1. But this is a vector. I cross j is a vector. To where it point out, you take the vector I with your right hand side, you rotate I over j, and your thumbs will be pointing out in this direction. Okay. So A cross j equal k. Let's go to do another problem, another one. K cross j, for example. You see the plane K cross j? You see K cross j. K cross j. What it will be? The magnitude of K by the magnitude of j by the sine of the angle that they form, that is 90 degrees. This is 1 by 1 by 1. So K cross j is a vector that have the magnitude 1. So it's 1, but in what direction? If you rotate K over j, you do it with your hand, your thumb will pointing out in what direction? In the direction minus I. K over j. You will point it out, okay, if you rotate. So you can do, for example, K cross y. K cross y will be 1, and to where it will point it? To the j direction. Okay? Okay, that's all for... No, I need you to put you one problem. Just a moment, just a moment. This is the problem. The vector A 3i plus 2j. You can draw this vector 3i plus 2j. Okay, 2j is the vector. This is A, while B is 1i plus 5j. This is the vector, so I want to find A cross B. So fine. Good luck.